Hey
Awesome.
everybody, welcome. Oh, we're rolling?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Hey everybody, welcome to Frontline Football. Welcome to our daily predictions. Today is great. We are all a part of the winner's circle today, and I won, and the Astros won. The Suns are on right now. I don't know if they're winning, but all of our teams are winners today because we're all playing. So we're going to start off with the first game of the night, the Cardinals and the Saints. D Hop's return game. I'm going to hand this off to the one and only Cardinals fan, Zach, for his take.
I have to go. There's so many injuries on the Saints team, and there's a lot on this Cardinals team too. But I do trust the Cardinals a little bit more than the Saints, not just because they're my team, but also E-Hop returning is huge. Having the signing of or not the signing, the trade of Robbie Anderson is helping a lot since Hollywood's gonna be missing 6 weeks. Rondale should be getting healthier, and AJ Green should be fine. James Conner might be there. We're not sure yet, but if he is, then it'll help a lot. And yeah, that's mostly it. Also, because Lattimore is probably gonna be gone, so I know for sure we're gonna have a better game than usual. All right. What about you, Jack?
I'm also going Cardinals here. If you look at the Saints injury report, they're going to be without their top three wide receivers, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and probably Chris Olave are all getting ruled out. Don't know what's happening with James as usual. And Marshawn Lattimore is also ruled out. And the Cardinals also get some much needed return of D Hop. So this should be a game that they win with a depleted Saints team. They should be able to do enough to get the win. And if not, Cliff Kingsbury should pack his bags and not be let back into the facility on Friday morning. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Well, I am going to go with the Cardinals here because this is basically, I don't want to say it's a give me matchup, but it's probably as close to a give me matchup as they are going to get this season. So the Cardinals need to win here with D Hop coming back and Kingsbury having all of his weapons and the Saints having none of their weapons. So give me the Cardinals here.
One sec. Let me just get through all this, and then I'll. Okay, cool. Alright, so who's doing the transitions this week?
I am. So our next game is the Lions and the Cowboys. Jack, what is your take on this game?
I think I have to go Cowboys with the slight edge here. The Lions got a bye week to figure out some defensive stuff. And while I expect the Lions to score points as usual, the Cowboys defense is really good. They get the return of Dak, and while they did lose last week to the Eagles, that Eagles team is really good. Probably a top two team in the league right now. So I'm not going to make them lose too many points off of that. So I'll give the edge to the Cowboys here with the return of Dak and the defense. Not to mention Zeke and Pollard should be able to run on the Lions defense if they haven't made any changes since the bye week. So give me the Cowboys here. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I'm gonna go Lions here. I don't know how well the Cowboys are gonna do with Dak first week back, and I feel like this Lions team's gonna be ready. Especially Cowboys coming just from Sunday night. They're gonna be hungry, but I feel like the Lions are gonna want this win more. So give me the Lions. What about you, Josh?
I'm going to have to go with the Cowboys here because as much as I trust the Lions, I think that the Cowboys defense will be able to stop the one thing that the Lions are really good at this year in offense. And even though that is Dak's first game, I think that the defense will carry Dak to his first win as a Cowboy this year. So our next game is the Packers versus the Commanders. Jack, what are your thoughts?
This game is going to be weird. I'll give the slight edge to the Packers here. Neither of these teams play particularly well. Carson Wentz did secure the win on Thursday by scoring like total of like 12 points or something. But the Packers, they're getting to a point of desperation. They've dropped two in a row. If they drop one here, they're below 500. So that would be really bad for this Packers season. And while the Commanders, Brian Robinson looked okay, I don't trust them 100% to be able to stop the Packers' run game. So I'll give the edge to the Packers here just because they seem really desperate at this point to not drop three in a row. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Well, I gotta go with the Green Bay Packers here too because right now this is time for the Packers to panic. You have just lost to the Jets and the Giants. Now, the Giants are a really good team, but the Jets, you having Rodgers should have really helped you there. But you need to at least rebound with the Commanders. If you don't rebound here, it's all signs go, and this is an emergency. So, give me the Packers winning here. Zach?
I have to go Packers. All these points that Jack and Josh have made, there's really no excuse for the Packers to lose to this team because they didn't even score like a frick. What the hell just dropped? They didn't even get a touchdown. Sorry, my controller keeps dropping. On the Bears, it was just a kick. Yes, the Bears. It was just a kicking match, and that was just really boring. If the Packers can't score on these guys, then there's a problem. So give me Packers.
Okay. So, our next game is the Buccaneers versus the Panthers. I will take this one. I believe that the Bucs will have a rebound game. As much as I think that Brady is showing his age, I think that may just be trying to get right back into the season after retiring and working with his new O-line. I think that they should be able to get the details down, and they will be pushing themselves way harder in practice this week. And also, it's the Panthers. They just traded away Robbie Anderson. I don't know what they're doing over there. All I know is that it's probably not good. So I'm going to hand this one off to Jack for his stake.
I'll also go Bucks here. This is a game they should win, but keyword is should. They kind of lost a game that they also should have won last week against the Steelers. So the Bucks sort of got to focus this week, not fall into another trap game. This should be a win that they pick up here. I expect them to win. The defense is gonna be flying around. It's TJ Walker. They have the weapons relatively healthy this week, so they should be fine and get the win here if they can lock in and stay focused. What are your thoughts, Zach? Zach still there?
I can't hear him. Zach, are you still there?
Well, shoot, we may have lost Zach. I'm like 99% sure you go this, but
Let me just check. Yeah, we can't hear you. Maybe just go off and go back on. Okay, sorry, this is some of the stuff that we have to deal with a live stream. You know, we got technical difficulties that happen. So, you know, it's all fun. Hey, Zach, can we hear you?
yet.
Are you talking, Zach, or?
There we go.
All right, now I
Okay,
can
yeah.
hear you.
We're back. Okay, so Zach, what are your thoughts on this game?
Bucks. I think that the Buccaneers have a solid enough team to push them to it. There's only a couple problems during that Steelers game. If they can get those fixed before the Panthers game, I think they'll be just fine.
Okay, so our next game is the Colts versus Titans. I'll take this one. I believe that the Indianapolis Colts, even though the Titans are coming off a bye, I believe that the Colts will be winning this game. And I think it's just because with these AFC South opponents, they usually like to take the road games from the other team. So I believe that the Colts will be winning this one here. I'm going to hand this one off to Zach for his take.
I'm gonna go Titans. The reason why is because Derrick Henry's actually been pretty solid lately, and while JT's been dealing with injuries, and that's mostly the Colts offense. Not lately, but it's most likely been the Colts offense for a very long time. I don't know really the time frame on when JT is coming back, so I'm gonna go Titans here because their offense is better than Colts right now. What about you, Jack?
I think I'll have to go Colts here. These teams match up pretty well. While the Colts are not as healthy as the Titans, they always split on the road, and the Titans got the dub earlier this year. So now it's the time for the Colts to get the dub on the road. Give me the Colts.
Okay, so our next matchup is the Browns versus the Ravens. Zach, take it off.
I'm gonna go Ravens here. They're just they've figured out ways to lose games in really stupid fashion, and to like choke them like the Falcons did in like many years. So it's just really odd to see it, and I feel like the Ravens are just gonna hopefully destroy the Browns. What about you, Jack?
I'm going Ravens. This, like Zach said, the key to this team's success is just closing out games. I believe they could have easily been 5-1 or 6-0 at this point if they just closed out a couple games, especially that Miami game and now last week's game, which was against the Giants, which was a winnable one that they had to lead until the very end. But I think this week they close it out. The Browns looked very uninspiring last week against Bailey Zappi and the Patriots. I expect that trend to continue here. Give me the Ravens. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I gotta go with the Ravens too. I don't like seeing this new Ravens team. It looks like that they are turning into the other bird team, like everyone else has said, and the Atlanta Falcons. And they just need to have something go right for them. And I believe this should be the week where something goes right. Okay. So, our next matchup is the Texans versus the Raiders. I will take this one. I believe that the Texans will be winning this matchup. Now, their win against Jacksonville was not pretty in the slightest, but they got the win, and a win is a win. While the Raiders, they looked good. They did choke to the Chiefs 2 weeks ago, but both these teams are coming off a bye. This will be at Allegiant. But I think that the Texans will be pulling out a win here. Good hand this one off to Jack.
This one should be a good matchup, but I'll lean Raiders slightly here. Both teams are coming off byes and only have one win up to this point, so both teams are pretty desperate for a win. The Raiders need to figure out some stuff. Texans do too. Texans defense should keep them in the game, as they have the last month and a half so far the Texans season. But I think ultimately the Raiders offense will do just enough to get by here and get the W in their home field. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I have to go Raiders. I trust this offense for the Raiders more than the Texans defense to stop them. And also, I trust the Raiders defense to do the bare minimum and try to stop the Texans. They've done pretty well against other teams, like the Cardinals. They did pretty well until they choked it. But I think that the Raiders can just keep a consistent game. Even without Devontae Adams, I think they can still win. All right.
Okay. So our next game is the Jets versus the Broncos. Jack?
I'm going to go Jets here again. I picked them the last 3 weeks, and they keep winning, so I'll keep up the trend. Jets defense looked absolutely crazy against the Packers. Blocked punts, blocked field goals for touchdowns, all sorts of good stuff. Breece Hall was running the ball like a madman, along with Michael Carter being pretty complimentary. So I expect this game to be very defensive-oriented. Both offenses are probably going to start out slow. I'll give the slight edge to the Jets offense to figure something out, probably on the ground, to beat Russ and the Broncos in their home stadium. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Well, I believe that the Jets will be winning this game. The Broncos are coming off a short week. And Wilson, while he did look good in the first quarter, the rest of the game was a snooze fest for Monday Night Football. And I don't get this Broncos team, and I don't know what they're doing. I don't know where they're going. It just looks like they're neutral right now, and they've already crashed into 5 stop signs and hit an old lady on the way. This isn't good for them, and I think that the Jets will just show their dominance again. Zach?
I'm just gonna go Jets here. They've been looking very consistent, and the one prove it thing was to beat a actual starting quarterback, and they did that last week by beating the Packers, and they've proven that they have been pretty solid. So I'm gonna go Jets here. I think that's the first time in a long time we swept on Jets.
Oh, wait, no, we did it last week, too.
Oh.
We did it?
Mm.
Oh, dang. Okay, well, Next matchup is the Steelers versus the Dolphins. I'm sorry to say it again. Jack, take us away.
I have to go Dolphins here. I get that the Steelers won and the Dolphins are in a bit of a slide right now, but the Dolphins' offensive production really hasn't taken too bad of a hit, even with the weird quarterback stuff. I don't know how Teddy Bridgewater came back in that game. I guess he was a backup for Skylar Thompson, but Tyreek still got a bunch of numbers. Same with Jalen Waddle. It was just about finishing drives mainly. And I think this Steelers team, they got lucky that they kind of fell into it. The Bucks trap game thing took advantage of the Bucks kind of being distracted for whatever reason. I don't think that's going to happen again. This Miami team needs a win to get back over 500 and to get back on track. And I think they'll get it here. So give me Miami. What are your thoughts, Zach?
I'm gonna go Dolphins because I believe Tua is coming back soon. And Tyreek, I don't know what his deal is. Does anybody really know what's going on with Tyreek?
I think he's okay.
Nope.
No. Okay. Oh, I believe that this team is just a lot better, and they are a little bit injured, Dolphins, but they should be fine against the Steelers. Like Jack said, that game against the Bucks was just like a fluke. It's not what the Buccaneers are actually like. So yeah, Josh.
I gotta go with the Steelers here. Tomlin is a really good head coach to get his teams up to 500, and I think that he'll do something here. I don't know what it will be. He'll do something to pull out a win because the only reason I'm choosing the Steelers is I don't know the situation on Tua right now. Even though the rest of the offense is looking good, I think that the Steelers will just have some sort of weird, fluky win again. Okay, so our next matchup is the Falcons.
You said Dolphins, right?
No, I said Steelers.
Back.
Oh, yeah, I said Dolphins.
Okay, so has everyone said their take?
Yep.
Okay, so our next matchup is the Falcons versus the Bengals. I'll take this one. I think that the Bengals are winning it at home. Now, the Bengals, they've kind of been through a little Super Bowl hangover, but I think that this should be about the time of year where they start turning things around and just doing well in their division and maybe squeaking into the playoffs. So I'm going to hand this off to Zach for his thoughts.
Go Bengals. They need a bounce back from this Super Bowl hangover that they've been having lately, and the perfect team to do that against is the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons are not the best team to. They're not a playoff team, and I believe this Bengals team is a playoff team, so they should be able to beat them easily.
I'm going to go with the Falcons here. I'll pick this as my one upset of the week. I think the Falcons have been playing pretty good so far. They keep every game they play within one score. They smoked the 49ers by 2 touchdowns last week. So I'll say they keep the momentum going. Maybe Kyle Pitts does something again. Catches another touchdown in the U.S. That would be great. So I'll take the Falcons here in an upset.
Okay, so our next matchup is the Giants versus the Jaguars. I'll take this one. And I think that the Giants are winning. The Giants are legit right now. Brian Dable is, I think, my number one for Coach of the Year right now. He has taken a team that had no potential and has turned them into a 5-1 juggernaut in the NFC. I don't know what sort of magic he is doing over there, but I want him to start doing that to some other teams. But oh my gosh, this season is amazing, and I can't wait to see what else he does. So give me the Giants here. Jack?
I think I'll also go Giants here. I've picked against them the last couple weeks, and each week they surpass my expectations, and they find a way to win the game against a harder and harder opponent. This week they have the Jags, who I think they came off a really bad loss to the Colts on a game-winning touchdown from Alec Pierce. So they're not having the best time right now. They're having a bit of struggles, and I think that Dable's doing a great job with this team. He's going to be able to coach them up, and he should be able to handle the Jags this week. What are your thoughts, Zach?
There you go, Giants. Here, yeah, it's been very nice seeing Saquon Barkley have basically his resurgence, and seeing him with Dable is a super good combo. And I didn't think the Giants were going to be this good this season, but they've been pretty nice, and I'm going to go with them here.
Okay, so our next matchup is the Seahawks versus the Chargers. Zach, what are your thoughts?
Oh, shoot. Chargers had a really bad game, though. I'm gonna go Chargers here. They're getting healthier. Um, it's concerning both these teams because they have big question marks everywhere on their every area in their offense and defense. But I think the Chargers have the better team here, so I'm gonna go with them. How about you, Jack?
I'll give the slight edge to the Chargers here. They had a very sketchy Monday night win on a game winner from Dustin Hopkins, but to the credit, that was the Denver defense, which has looked elite. It's mainly the Denver offense that's been holding them back so far. So I don't think the Seahawks defense will play at that level. But don't be surprised if the Seahawks put up a bunch of points in this game or even steal the game away from the Chargers potentially because J.C. Jackson has been struggling and Geno Smith airing out the ball has been probably the most accurate quarterback in the league according to the stats. So I wouldn't be surprised in the Seahawks win, but I'm giving the slight edge to the Chargers with home field advantage and they're finally starting to get relatively healthy. So give me the Chargers. What are your thoughts, Josh?
I gotta go with the Seahawks here. I think that they had it wasn't a good win against the Cardinals, but like I keep saying, a win is a win. And I am really liking this Seahawks team this year. I really thought they were going to be bottom of the division, but they look like they could be a dark horse playoff contender. So give me the Seahawks in the upset here. Okay, our next matchup is the Chiefs versus the Niners. Zach, what are your thoughts?
Ah, damn, this is also a hard one. I'm gonna go Chiefs here. Um, this is 3 years ago. This was the Super Bowl, but it's a couple pieces that are very, very much missing. But I feel like Mahomes will get the win over the Niners just because it's been very. I don't know how to put this. Their corners have not been the best Niners lately, and with that Falcons loss, it doesn't actually give me any more confidence. While the Chiefs have been very consistent and only losing, I believe, to the Bills. I don't remember. They've only lost one game. It's been a very impressive season, so I'm just gonna have the Chiefs winning. So yeah. What about you, Josh?
I believe that the Chiefs are winning. The only game that they've really lost, well, they've lost two. I need to check their schedule and see who else they lost to. Oh, they lost to the Colts in that weird fluky win. But the other team that they lost to was the Bills, and that not Brady, Allen Mahomes rivalry is something that is going to be legendary whenever we get to see it play out on these Sundays. So I have to go with the Chiefs here. I don't trust the Niners after their loss to the Falcons, but yeah, I trust the Chiefs here. So give me the Chiefs in a bounce back win. Jack?
I think I'll also go the Chiefs here. Like Josh said, outside of a fluky loss to the Colts and an understandable loss to the Bills, they've been one of the best teams in the league so far. And the Niners, I don't know how to read the Niners right now. I just don't trust them. One week they're blowing out teams like the Rams, then the Panthers, and the next week they get blown out by the Packers. They're just way too or not Packers. They get blown out by the Falcons. They're just way too inconsistent of a team for me to pick confidently against the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs get back on track here and they get the win.
Okay, so our next matchup is finally Monday Night Football. The Bears versus the Patriots. Jack, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
I'm going Patriots here. I don't know how to do anything about the Bears at this point. They looked pretty bad on Thursday Night Football. Bill Belichick tends to have his way with these young quarterbacks, especially when they have no help like Justin Fields. Bailey Zappi has looked really good so far. He's been able to manage these games with a strong run game led by Ramondre Stevenson. I expect this trend to continue. Belichick should be able to just take care of the Bears handily, stop their offense exactly where it stands, and we should be in for another horrible primetime game. So stay tuned for that. Give me the Patriots. What are your thoughts, Zach?
Patriots. Um, yeah, like Jack said, the only quarterback I believe to beat. I don't even remember who's the last rookie quarterback. It's pretty recent that beat Belichick, but I'm counting Justin Fields as a rookie because he's playing like one, and it's just kind of sad. He's probably just gonna get beat up this game. What about you, Josh?
Feel like the Patriots are on another level. The Patriots, we all thought we were seeing ding dong, the witch is dead. We thought the Patriots dynasty was over, but Belichick was plotting in his evil lair for his revenge. And now he has Bailey Zappi, Tom Brady 2.0, ready to wreak havoc on us for another 12 or 15 years until he goes to Miami, because Miami's actually going to do well with tampering. And it's going to be all over. So I got the Patriots here, and this is only the start to another 100 years of Bill Belichick reigning over the NFL. So yeah, give me Patriots here.
I think
So
that was the last matchup.
yeah, that's it. Okay, so that was the last matchup. Sorry for that weird tangent about the Patriots at the end, but we actually do have a video coming out on Friday because this week's Friday Night Chronicle is on a Thursday. So stay tuned for that, and Jack, hit the plugs.
As always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. It's there, Frontline FB. So do all that. Be back here next week for another great episode of predictions, or tune in Friday for the Thursday Night Chronicles because they're happening on Thursday this week instead of Friday. But we'll still be here watching a high school football game. It'll be fun. And we'll see you guys then.
See ya.